Hi, and welcome to What's Up Williston, our monthly TV show where we take a closer look at things going on around town. I'm your host, Eric Wells. Got an exciting show this month. I sat down with two of our town department heads, Recreation and Parks Director Todd Goodwin and Town Clerk Sarah Mason. First, we'll play the interview with Todd Goodwin where we looked at our new recreation indoor space we're calling the Rec Zone that'll be available starting in March, and also chatted about some other upcoming things in the department, including summer camp registration and programs.
All right, joining me now is Recreation and Parks Director Todd Goodwin. Hi, Todd. How you doing today?
Good, thank you.
So a lot of things going on in Recreation and Parks right now. Thought we'd start out by chatting about the new indoor facility we're leasing, the Rec Zone. Maybe let us know about that facility and how things are coming together over there.
Yep, that's great. Things are good. It is called the Rec Zone, REC, which stands for Recreate, Explore, and Create. So little, play on words there. But yeah, we're setting it up, cleaning it up, getting it all fitted and ready for use. We hope to open up in March with programmings and such. And then we're going to do an open house on Saturday, March 4th from 9 to 4 and welcome the community in to check it out, see what's going on. And then we hope to have a whole bunch of new instructors and previous instructors there that will be utilizing the space so people can see what they have to offer. And we're always looking for more instructors because we have lots of hours to fill when we have our own facility now 24/7, 7 days a week.
Where's the facility located? I think it's over in Taft Corners.
Yep, just below Taft Corners, 94 Harvest Lane is the address. So it's not the driveway into Goodwill, but it's the next driveway, and we'll have a sign up there very soon on the signboard. But it's where All Earth Renewables are. They're in the back half of that building, and we're in the front half. So go down that driveway, there you'll see a brick building, the first one. You drive past that, come to the second brick building, and you take a right into the parking lot there, and we're the middle. We're going to be the middle space that we have.
So envisioning the space, maybe describe what it's like in there. You think of recreation space. What type of things will room be good for? What type of program are you planning on?
We have about 2,000 square feet, and it's all open. It's got tile floor on it, and we're going to split the area in two. There won't be an actual wall up or anything like that, but there'll be on a whole open area, about 1,200 square feet of active recreation. So jazzercise, senior fitness, anything like that, where people are moving around for whatever program. And then we're going to have a passive section, is probably about 600 square feet or so. And that's going to be, a table set up, chairs around, place to do safe sitters, boater safety, any type of programming where people are sitting, and educational or learning workshop, those types of programs. So, and anything is possible. We're open and welcoming anybody to come and tell us what they have and see if it fits in the space. As a matter of fact, we have a planetarium lady, and she has a dome, and she came and she checked out the space, and she says the dome will fit, and she takes about 12 participants in the dome, and you see the night skies, and she does a storytelling and presentation with that. So hey, it's going to work. And so we're open to any type of programming, new, old, and all types, and see if they work in the space.
Oh, that's great. We certainly have a high demand, especially for the active fitness recreation space you described, and I'm envisioning a lot of people getting to know that space and stopping by. So excited to be launching here in the next few weeks with the open house coming up.
Yeah, we are too. And what's nice is like you said, the fitness, we're going to be able to do it every Monday and Tuesday night, every Wednesday night. So if you had a yoga you want it every Monday night. You don't want it for 6 weeks and then 2 weeks off, or the winter off, or the summer off, which is kind of the situation we were in before. Not having a facility 24/7 for us to be able to program and such. So yeah, we're very excited.
Yeah. I think with like any program, it's a segue to other things going on. If as things become available in the space, how would someone sign up for a program that they wanted to join?
Yeah, on our website, recreation recreation.org. I forget our Williston Rec. Sorry, Williston Rec. I was thinking of our email, willistonrec.org. They can go on there, and under general info, they'll find a program camp proposal form, and that starts out the beginning of it. They can email us at recreation@willistonvt.com and explain what they're thinking, and we could set up a meeting with them. We can show them the space. We can talk about that. But that program proposal gives us all the who, what, where's, when's, why's, and how's that we need to develop a program along with them. So that would be great. Either of those two would be a great first step. Program proposal, or contact us and we'll send it to you.
When someone wants to sign up to participate in a program, same approach, go on the website or an email, or stop by the office?
Yeah, the website's the best because it has all the programs that we're having to offer, and that's always changing and being updated. So we send stuff out marketing, but we can market one day and the next day we have a new program. So once it's up on the website, it's live, it's ready to go, people can register. So yeah, that willistonrec.org, and then there's a little icon for programs, and you see all the programs that we have to offer. And the exciting thing about the new space is we hope to do more for preschool, seniors, which are a lot of times want daytime programming, and also branch out into homeschool kids looking for recreation opportunities and that kind of stuff. So
great. I know. Also, I was just thinking of here. Yeah, it'll come back to me. But we're certainly excited to be able to have this space and offer more opportunities for our community members to get engaged and to join. And
we are too, and want to thank you for giving us the opportunity to see if this is a good thing, and if it's to make it happen, and letting us go and find the space. And we'll take this next year and try to program it as much as we can and make it a worthwhile thing and something that we can continue to do for future years.
Yeah. Thanks, Todd. And I know, I remember what I was thinking of. Where as you evaluate kind of different programs, different time slots, we'll likely be looking at, we'll have some open times in the space potentially that groups might be able to reserve it to use. But it's going to take us a little bit of time to kind of figure out what the schedule looks like, and we'll follow up with sharing the information and probably the next few months, I'm guessing.
Yeah, we want some time to try to fill that space, but there's going to be times that we're not going to be able, not going to offer programs or not be able to fill it, so it would be available for other things.
Great. So I know, let's see, some other stuff going on, and you're gearing up for some other spring programming in the department guide. Kind of where are those things?
Well, this year is the spring summer program guide, and it comes out tomorrow in the Observer, the February 16th edition, and it's 4 pages, 2 pages of spring and summer programs that we knew ahead of time, and again we're already adding 5 or 6 more, and there's 2 pages of the summer camps, the 3-day camps that we offer, as well as upwards of 30 enrichment camps this summer. So registration has already been open for the last week for all those for Williston residents, and like I said, the guide will be in the Observer starting tomorrow.
Same thing, I'm assuming, for the indoor space. The rec website's the best place to go to sign up.
Yes, yeah, they're all the programs that'll be in the guide are currently listed, and people can register, and they can go on tonight and register before the guide, but they'll have that guide as a map to check it all out.
Well, what do you recommend folks with camps? Some camps fill up quicker than others. Better to sign up sooner rather than later to get that squared away for the summer planning.
Yeah, you know, that's true. There are some camps, especially within the Richmond camps, and there's actually a few of them that are already full that are very popular. So you have two payment options. You can pay with a credit card, and there is 3.5% processing fee, or you can do the offline and pay with a check or cash and dropping that off. And we suggest that if a camp is popular and has large numbers, families use a credit card, because the minute you pay with that credit card, your child is enrolled. If they register and choose the offline, they're not enrolled until we receive the money. And that's okay to do. You take your chances on that. But also we say, bring that payment into the rec department, you know, between Monday through Friday, 8 to 4, or use the drop box at this point in time. Mail's been a little slow, as we all know, and we don't want that to hold up people. So credit card is best, but then on the more popular ones, but you can get away with just the deposits on some of the other camps.
Sounds good. I know everything's going on right now. It's our ski and ride program is off and running. We've been able to have the ice rink out there in the community park, village community park, but winter's not always agreeing with us this year. But it sounds like those things are both off and running pretty well though.
Yeah, ski and ride has meets today, and next Wednesday is the last. Basketball season is wrapping up here this weekend. Yep, the ice rink has been challenging to have good ice, but it's been kind of hit and miss. But it's open right now. I know we're going to get 50-degree weather next couple of days, so probably close down again, but open up for the weekend.
Great. Well, that's all I had. Todd, anything else we didn't chat about you want to share?
Just one other thing. Everyone should be looking in their mailboxes for the recreation guide. This is the department information guide. It's something we put together, and it just gives general information of what the department is all about and what we do. So programs, camps, and special events. It talks about the community parks, which the department oversees, and it talks about sponsorships and donations, financial assistance for families, employment and volunteer opportunities, instructor opportunities. Allenbrook, we've done the revitalization and kind of see the map in the background over there. So we're pretty excited about that. So this guide is just all about what the department is. And when it went out, the new facility was named The Rock, but we needed to change that. And so we have an updated one here, and have sent that out. And of course, it's now known as the Rec Zone. So again, we're excited about that. So yeah, just that department guide. And if people have questions, give us a call or email us, and we're happy to talk with you.
Awesome. Thanks, Todd, for joining the show again. Lots going on, lots of exciting things. So
very much so.
Spend some time in the Rec Zone moving ahead here.
Yeah. Thanks.
Thanks. Have a good day.
You too. Thank you. Bye.
And we'll have more information about the Rec Zone open house coming up on March 4th, the next couple of weeks, as we work out the final schedule for that day. So invite you to stop by. So next this month, I sat down with Town Clerk Sarah Mason as we're gearing up for Town Meeting Day 2023, coming up on March 6th and March 7th. We chatted about things you should know about early voting, about filling out your ballot, and things town meeting related. So we'll roll the interview now with Sarah Mason, our Town Clerk.
Join me next this month is Town Clerk Sarah Mason. We're getting geared up here at Town Hall for Town Meeting Day 2023. We're less than 3 weeks away, and so we're getting ready with early voting going on right now and everything that leads up to town meeting. Thanks for joining the show, Sarah.
Hi, Eric. Good to see you.
So I know there's a lot of details to go through here, and we were thinking to help voters out there as they're getting ready for town meeting. Kind of in general, what should they do if they're interested in getting a ballot to vote early?
Oh, good question. So there's lots of ways to get a ballot early. If you're someone that doesn't think you're going to be around on March 7th. And early voting is for anybody. Vermont is a state where you don't have to have a reason. You don't have to be traveling. You don't have to be someone that works an 18-hour, 12-hour shift and can't get there. It's called a no excuse state. So anybody can vote early, really for the convenience factor that it has allowed everybody. So voting early, ballots are here. They arrived on Monday. And you can get one by calling me, emailing me, and there's also something called My Voter Page. That's put on by the Secretary of State's website. And at My Voter Page, you can log into your own personal profile. It will tell you, I'd like to request a ballot. I want it for this election. I want to do a whole year at a time. And it's a great way for you to track your ballot, because once I see that request and I issue your ballot, you can see it's been mailed. And then also when I check it back in, you know that it has been received.
So anyone that wants to vote today, they can stop by town hall and vote or get their ballot and
Exactly. Yep. You can come by the office and pick it up. You may only pick up your own ballot. That is something people need to really understand. I can't give anybody more than one. Can't give it to you for your spouse of 55 years. It just doesn't matter. You get your own only. You can request for anybody. So if you stop in, I can certainly give you your ballot, and then we'll mail someone else in your household, someone else in your family that you are allowed to request for. So just remember, if you come to the office, you're not picking up one for the whole family, because that obviously is not appropriate for a lot of reasons. But sure, come on in, call me, email me. We'll get it to you. The mail's been great. I sent some on Monday. They were delivered by Tuesday, and I have 10 back, and it's only Wednesday. So we're already off to a good start of people really getting down to it, as this timeline for town meeting is very short. It's 20 days from when I need the ballots to town meeting day. And if people are used to voting early, state and federal elections, it's 45 days. So you sort of feel like you have some time to sit back and think about a lot of things, and you do, but it's a much shorter timeline. And people that are, excuse me, watching from Florida or elsewhere really need to get it and get it right back in the mail as soon as they can.
So I know we've got our outside drop box we put in a couple of years ago for drive-through drop-off ballots. How often does that get emptied for folks who are curious?
Yeah, the Dropbox has just been a phenomenal upgrade. So the COVID money, CARES money from back in 2020, I think that's probably one of the best things that I purchased with that money from the government. And it is there 24/7. It's cemented into a big block in the ground. It's not going anywhere, and it can be used at all times. We check it every day, a couple times a day. Your ballot's never sitting in there for very long. And I find that people use that all the time. You might be coming back from Hannaford's at 8 or 8:30, and it's really easy to just swing through the parking lot, not even get out of your car, and put it right into the bin. For those of you that haven't seen it, it's kind of large and tan, looks like a post office pull down, like the blue bins, but it's tan. And again, it is not a mailbox. It's for town of Williston correspondence and for ballots in particular. It does have 4 big bumpers around it, and it's pretty easy to see.
So folks can vote early, they can drop off their ballot, and I think you want them in the day before the polls open, right? Or they can drop them off at the polls too.
You can always bring it right to the polls. If time gets away from you, you can absolutely bring it to the polling place on Tuesday, March 7th from 7 to 7. You can even use the Dropbox that day. I'm okay with running out to check that, a few times throughout the day. And especially, last call is about 6:45, and I tape it up after I've done it at 6:45, maybe 10 of 7, to know that it will not be checked and you must bring it inside to the armory. But besides that, you can use that anytime. You can return it to me come in the office and drop it off with Jen or myself. You can put it in the mail. Postage is not paid. So if you get that at home and you are unable to get out, maybe you don't drive anymore, whatever the case may be, you will have to throw some postage on your big red envelope right here and get that back to the town with your own postage. The mail has been great so far. Election mail does take precedent over other mail. So if you do put it in the mail, you can feel good about that getting here, but I would not wait much more than March 1st. I have to have all ballots by Tuesday, March 7th by 7 p.m. And that is whatever I get in the mail, whatever you bring to the polls, or whatever is in the box. The day after does not count. Vermont does not count a postmark of anything as being countable. And again, that happens. It happens all the time. You know, someone is trying to vote internationally and it gets here, 2 days later. And unfortunately, those are sort of just the breaks in the timing. But if you're local and around here, I think that everything will be fine in returning those.
Yeah, it's great. There's a lot of different ways for people to vote, and we've got a few weeks here.
Okay.
Another thing we want to talk about is, the ballots themselves, proper way to fill out the ballot. I know you've seen a lot of different things that come in over the years that unfortunately we can't count because they're not marked properly.
Exactly. Yes. I have a few examples here, and I think I'll start with, unfortunately, I guess I'll start with what you shouldn't, well, I'll start with what you should do. Let's start with the one that's appropriate. If you can see this ballot, I'll try to hold it closely. I've circled in the bubbles pretty carefully. Try to stay somewhat within the margins of that little circle. And also just want to make note of my write-in. I kept it very, very precise of where it is, and I'll have an example of what is harder to read if you are doing a write-in. So it does have instructions, which people tend to blow over. They want it ovaled, they want it circled, they want it filled in. A few things that other people do when you're just kind of hurrying is maybe big, gigantic check marks. Again, we can figure out what that is supposed to mean, but it would mean transferring your ballot, most likely having a few justices of the peace working together to transfer that on to something else. So I would take your time and do it the right way. Also note on the write-in, this is messy and it's way out of the margins. The tabulator can read the space, they call it real estate, next to the person's name or where it says write-in. So when you're out of the real estate with your check marks, with your handwriting, with huge X's or slash marks, that's difficult. Tabulator is smart. It can figure out a lot of things, but it might mean it's going in and out of the machine a few more times. It slows down our processing. So this is what you want your things to look like. Bubbles, small appropriate handwriting within the lines, and no reason to use a marker or a Sharpie. That also tricks the tabulator sometimes. They bleed a little bit. So I always say no pencils, no Sharpies, plain old black pen that you probably have lying around. Even a blue pen is fine if you have that lying around, but there is no need to find something that is super inky or super dark, or God forbid a crayon or a magic marker. Just a plain old black Bic pen that you have lying around at home is all that it needs. So that's sort of the how to do it so that we, right. A little bit more on the ballots while we're there, though. I will say Town of Williston ballot is the white one. There are two sides, so be sure to turn it over. It does say it at the bottom. The front is all of the open offices that are up for election this year. So this is usually the front page, and depending on the spacing, there could be some here. There just wasn't this year for our 3 articles. Those are all in the back. That tends to be the budget, and usually maybe 1 or 2 other questions regarding anything to do with dollar line items. So that's what our Australian ballot will look like, which happens Tuesday, March 7th from 7 to 7 if you haven't voted early. So again, remember, you have 2 sides. Please turn it over so you don't forget the questions. Also in your packet, just to keep going a little bit more, the school vote takes place simultaneously. We send these for them because they're sort of happening simultaneously. If you get one, you do get the other. This is the Champlain Valley School District ballot. So again, one-sided for them, very short, just some money, their budget items, which are here. So same idea, 2 ballots that you'll be getting if and when you request ballots in person or early. You get both either way.
So we're returning the ballot. I remember when I've done this in the past, you need to vote, you need to put them in an envelope, and I recall you need to sign something too.
Correct. So the next small white envelope that you would probably see in your packet, it's called technically a certificate envelope. It's kind of a clunky term for those that are not in the business, but this is the envelope that your ballots go inside. So after you have voted on the 2 that you receive in the mail, fold them back up. They fit inside that certificate envelope. Yeah, looks upside down, but it's not. Your name, Williston, sign, and date it. This is super important. You can even forget to write Williston. You can even forget to print your name, but you need to sign and date this or it can't be counted. So most people that are voting from home or voting early, whatever you want to call it, are getting pretty used to this system. We've seen a lot of fewer mistakes over the past few years. The state's done some good outreach about the fact that this is very, very, very important if you're voting early and need to know who you are and that your ballots are in here to be returned. So that is what you're thinking of called the certificate envelope. Fill it in, sign and date it. You'll also have another slightly larger envelope that this one fits inside. Again, if you're mailing it, you'll have to use this red one that's provided to you. And you can also put it in there if you're going to use the Dropbox, just because it keeps yours packaged together and you might feel better about it all being sealed up in two things. So that can be returned, like I said, to me or to the Dropbox or via mail.
We should remind folks, any early voting or requests for ballots have to be made. The town does not send out ballots to everyone in a local election.
Correct. Yes. The one time that you've gotten a ballot just delivered to you is the November elections put on by the state. That does not apply to a town election that takes place in March. It does not even apply to the primary that's in August. So if you would like one, you do have to ask for one. And again, my phone and my email are pretty easy to find online. And then my voter page you could use it's mvp.vermont.gov. And if you feel fine using that, that's also a fun tool to get used to using. But again, email or call. Early voting, I want to just mention, does end Monday at noon. So that would be March 6th. We kind of need a stopping point where it does need to stop. I need to go to the armory. I need to do setup. There needs to be a point where people are not coming in because they just don't want to go on Tuesday at that point. So Monday at noon would be when my office closes for setup and early voting ends. You can return anything. I can put them in the mail even on Monday, although that will be a real tough turnaround if one were to wait until Monday the 6th.
So now thinking about town meeting itself, we're returning back to our traditional setup here. We were able to do it in 2020 and then the pandemic hit just after. So the last couple of years have been a little different. So for town meeting, we've held it remotely with an information session on the night before, where we've gone through articles for consideration. We've had some articles that we typically vote from the floor on the Australian ballot the last couple of years. We've back to our traditional setup. So Monday, March 6th, starting at 7 p.m. in the Williston Central School Auditorium, we'll call the town meeting to order. We'll have a few votes from the floor, nothing regarding the funding for the budget or other taking on debt. But we'll also have an opportunity that evening for a general information that will be shared by myself and others about the budget proposal, other articles, and the school district will give a budget presentation as well. But Sarah, if someone hasn't attended an in-person town meeting before, there will be some floor voting on a couple articles, and what should they expect when they come that evening?
Sure. Yeah, it'll be nice to get back to actual town meeting, as Eric had said, is Monday night. That's when the town will gather, townspeople that want to go. And there are a few articles from the floor. And as you mentioned, it's nothing that has to do with any kind of funding. It's three basic ones that just have to take place as part of the process: electing a moderator, deciding the due dates for our taxes, and accepting the town report itself of what we've all written in as our sort of yearly review. So those three things happen from the floor, kind of in the old-fashioned style that some small towns really do stick with when that is how you run your town meeting. So it just happens all from the floor with your townspeople. So we'll start Monday night at 7 in the auditorium. It's a nice time to get together and see folks and sort of be part of the process. Town meeting, I'll be there checking voters in. It is for registered voters only. If you are not, maybe you're a media person, maybe you're a visitor, there's kind of a section where you might sit and you don't vote when those things are called. Yeah, a nice presentation will be done regarding the budget, the school, maybe a little dedication talk. The scouts will be there doing a color guard formation in the beginning to sort of start things off. So it's a nice sort of a town tradition that people that go tend to go. And if you haven't, you could come check it out.
Yeah, well, so we have a few groups sometimes in the lobby too, with sharing information as well. It's
Correct.
It's great.
Yep, there could be, yeah. I'm sorry.
Well, that's okay.
There could be some groups, Sustainable Williston could be there. Again, another energy group could be there. They will use that time to be like, this is a time to get at least 100, 150 people in one place. And there could be flyers, could be from the solid waste district and just things to pick up. So it is generally information that you might not otherwise have at your fingertips, or we're all there to ask questions of as well. So it's kind of a nice time to get together and see some townspeople and have a little community flair that maybe you haven't had in the last couple of years.
I think I covered all the main topics there. Did I forget anything? Anything else?
I think we covered a lot of topics. Yes. That meeting, the Monday night meeting, then sort of takes a recess, and then the rest takes place on Tuesday. At the Armory, I guess I've said that a couple of times, but for anyone that might not be sure what I'm talking about, in the village, sort of our town buildings are right in a row, and the big, large kind of brick building is the National Guard's Armory, and that is our official Williston polling place. We only have one. It's for everybody. Even though we do have 2 districts now, that does not apply to a town vote. We are just one large district, one checklist. I'll have one table, or 2 tables, but not a separation like before. The Armory is directly across the street from the Dorothy Alling Memorial Library and the Williston Central School. It's next to the annex. There is parking behind the town hall. It can be a little tight. It can be a little congested, especially traffic in the morning with the school and people just trying to get everywhere at the same time. Is probably our busiest time, 7:45 to 8:15. Again, in the evening, school traffic and just general traffic in the village can be a little tight. So I'd say 4:40 to 6 can be a little tight. The weather in March can be really, really crazy. It could be like today and be 50 and delightful, and you'll have no trouble parking or walking in, or it could be a huge snowstorm. And I'm serious, you never know what you're going to get. So if you're anyone that might not be able to get out in a huge storm, if it's 20 below and you're not going to want to go anywhere, I remember many nights walking over to the school for a town meeting when I lived here in the village, and I had on my boots and my tea and my crossword, and I went and sat, and, it can be really one or the other. And it does get dark, it will be dark by 6. So again, those things are just something to take into consideration if you're someone that wants to pop in early, grab your stuff, have it done on your own timeline, instead of saying that this one day from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. we will be there. So day of 7 to 7 at the Armory, 7846 Williston Road, right here in the village. You can't miss it. It's pretty well marked with polling place signage out front. And yeah, but just keep in mind, so if that day doesn't work for you, do it early. And if you can't do it early, you always have the in-person backup of 7 to 7 on the 7th.
We're in the stretch for town meeting right now. I was gonna say
It is. It's a very, very tight turnaround when ballots get here and from when they have to come back. It's definitely tight. It's a busy time of year for you, both you and I, and anyone in this business.
I hope folks watching at home, you've got a lot of great information today. Check out the town website, or just give us a call or stop by town hall if you have any questions. And remember to vote. Look forward to town meeting every year.
Exactly. Thanks, Eric. You did a great job. And the website has all of this information, like Eric said, all nice together in a nice little packet. I have a sample ballot on my particular page if you happen to be on the town clerk's page instead of the home page of the town of Williston. But either one will link you right to one or the other, and they are posted around town. If you happen to be, at the post office or the library, you will see the warning and the ballot, and you can get a look at what might be on there. If you have any questions, just give any of us a call.
Well, thanks, Sarah.
Great. Thanks for having me. It's been fun.
Take care.
See ya. Bye-bye.
That's going to wrap things up for this month on What's Up Williston. Remember, town meeting day's coming up, and remember to vote. Check out our town website if you have any questions, or give me a call or drop me an email. I'm Eric Wells, and I'll see you around town.